Hey guys, welcome back to Homestead Seed. Today we're back in the garden. I was going to do a little bit of work with my tomato plants. They have gotten ridiculous. We've gotten some really good rains and some hot days. It actually just rained just a little bit ago. So this is the perfect time for me to get out in the garden. Here in Central Florida, it gets so hot in the afternoons. So I thought I would go ahead and show you what I got with my tomato plants. I did a little bit the other day, but I didn't have enough time to finish. So I thought I'd show you first what I did. So here I have my slicing tomato plants here. And you want to make sure that you don't have any leaves touching the ground, especially if you plant in the dirt. The rain, when they get watered, can splash up onto your plants. So what I do is I trim off the bottom parts of my plants. So these are determinate tomato plants, which means they'll only get to a certain size. So determinate plants, I do not trim off any of these extra suckers. I let them stay on there so this plant can get bushy. It won't get tall as these stakes, but it'll get nice and bushy. So what I do is I like to trim off the extra leaves here that are below where the fruit set is. So you can see here where my flowers are. I trimmed up all the branches that were below that, and that will put more effort and energy into these tomatoes that will be growing here soon. So you can see I have a little tomato right there coming in. So there's a couple coming in. Hopefully it won't get too hot too fast and make these blossoms drop. So I did all of these and I tied them up to my stakes. And then of course these are indeterminate, which means they will just keep growing forever. So in the beginning, I do make sure I get all the suckers off at the bottom, but I guess I didn't do too good of a job on this one. There's a couple here, but I'll just go ahead and let them grow up since at least they have this fence here to help them. And these have tons of tomatoes and like big bunches, and they're so delicious. So these are the ones I haven't done. These are my aromas. I did notice a little bit of bug damage. I had some worms, as I call them. That's probably not the correct word for them, but they were all over the bottom of my leaves here, and I could find some holes. I would look at the back of my leaf and I would see all the caterpillars. So what I did was I trimmed all of those off real quick and sprayed with some BT, which these tomatoes here, I'll pick this one because it's kind of nasty, but you can see right there, there's the worms that I'm talking about. You can see them right here at the top. I don't know if this will focus. So these are the ones that have been eating my tomatoes and the plants. So I sprayed some BT last night, and what it does is it attacks their stomach lining and it kind of makes them sick and die from their stomach inside out. But I just came through and I was just smashing them just like that. So I'll go ahead and give this tomato here to my chickens and they will love that as a treat. But I didn't want them to start getting all of my tomatoes. I mean, look at that down here. So I took off the infected leaves. I thought I got them all, but I guess I missed that tomato had some on them. Sprayed some BT. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and trim these plants up. All right, so this is one of the reasons why I love my weed barrier, is so I can sit my hiney on the ground and I don't have to bend over, because I guess, you know, once you get close to your 40s, getting kind of old. So what I'll do is I just come through and I'll trim off some of these branches, and that will give some air to the plant to circulate under here, and I will be able to see any issues that come up a little easier if I trim up some of these branches. And then I can see where my tomatoes are up here. See, there's a bunch more up here I didn't even realize I had. And then the pollinators can even get in here a little easier and pollinate my tomatoes. So I believe that these are poisonous, like if you eat them, for animals. So I don't give these to my animals, but you can see I have a bunch of holes in my tomatoes. So I'm assuming it was some type of caterpillar that was in here munching away. That seems to be one of the main things I have to deal with here in Central Florida, is these, I think they're called cucumber worms or something like that. They love to get my cucumbers. I have a really bad problem with that. And in my zucchinis and my squash, maybe they're squash, but not squash bugs. Those are different. But anyways, so this is what I do to kind of help get some airflow back up in here. I'll go ahead and trim up some more in here, and I have them tied to the stake so they can kind of grow up and have some support. So what do you guys do when you find all of these worms and stuff? Do you guys spray BT, or do you come through like at night with a light? I've heard some people do that. I'm so busy. When it's nighttime, I am done. I just want to put my feet up and relax. So I'd love to hear what you guys do to kind of control any of these issues. I'm still learning. I think everybody is always learning. There's always something to learn from other people that have different experiences. But thank you guys for watching. I have lots of gardening videos, and I'm gonna have lots of dairy videos coming up with our milk cow Diamond. So thank you guys for watching. See you soon. I had to bring you guys back for a second because this is a really sad moment and I needed to share it. So I was trimming up this bush and I accidentally got this plant. I didn't look all the way down it. It looked like this, and I thought it was just an extra branch, and it had tomatoes on it and flowers. Oh, this is so sad. I do this sometimes. I need to be more careful.